Morning, Bayside Upper School. Hope y'all had an awesome weekend. I just wanted to give you my weekly update. There's letters that are going to continue to go out in our bulletin, and obviously, I'm going to continue to update social media. But after last week, department chairs and I, along with some other administrative figures, sat down and really reflected on how the week went for everybody. Um, Certainly, I remain incredibly proud of you all, and I know that this has not been an easy transition. Some of you, I think, are thriving in this environment. Others are getting by, and I know that it's a struggle for some of our students as well. So, we're taking all that into consideration. Um, we're spending a lot of time continuing to adjust and reflect, and really talk about what it is that we can do in our virtual learning environment to make sure that all of you have the necessary skills and capabilities that you need to have to progress on to the next year, whatever that next year may be. So, I hope that you understand that we're listening. I hope that you feel confident that we're doing our level best, and I assure you that your faculty cares deeply for you. I care deeply for you, and we're trying not to make this too difficult. And we're all learning together, and that's what makes this school great. And I'm really, really confident that as we move forward and make some of the adjustments that you're going to hear about this morning, that you're going to continue to get everything that you expect out of a Bayside experience. Obviously, on Friday, we got some, um, pretty intense information from Governor Ivey regarding school closures. And so, while it's something that we did not want to hear, I think everybody in the back of their mind knew it was a possibility. And so, we will continue to provide a virtual learning environment for all of you, and we'll do it to the best of our ability. That being said, we also got information from the Southern Association of Independent Schools, and we're given some updates on what learning requirements we have to maintain our accreditation and to maintain faithful and faithful and effective service to you all as we move forward through May. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you. This is the press that and the newsletter that went out on Wednesday of last week, and we reflected over with Mr. Papa. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I do want you to see where we got some specific information about what learning needs to look like from a time perspective. A lot of what we heard from you all last week was, of course, overwhelmingly positive, and also we got some good feedback on sort of the experience that your children are going through. And students, you shared some emails with me about your experience, and I really, really appreciate those. Mr. Marine and I both read through some at the end of the week, and of course, I've even seen a few of you 6 feet apart, of course, and we were talking a little bit about how this has gone. So I wanted to be very crystal clear with all of you about exactly what the expectations are from our perspective. I also want you to see that we've listened to feedback, and that coupled with the accreditation information that we got from Deborah Wilson, who's the president of the Southern Association of Independent Schools. That information has allowed us to craft some more explicit expectations, which I'm going to hold teachers accountable for, and we're going to continue to talk about that. But also, it means that students have to be accountable as well. So let me get right into it here. This is the weekly letter you're going to see in the bulletin, but I want to go ahead and just go straight down to sort of the meat of the matter here. Right here, okay, you can see that SAIS will allow for virtual learning days to count as instructional days. All right, and they go through and actually Mrs. Wilson specifies that schools should be considering a minimum of 3.5 hours per day of learning activities for all grades above first grade. So what the department chairs and I did is we looked at that. We reflected after I spoke with Mr. Papa and the other division heads as well, and we talked about what this means. Okay, well, obviously Monday through Thursday, you've got 3 of those 3.5 hours per day taken care of through classes, as long as activities are going on and students are checking in. Now, we're not going to do the minimum. We expect more of ourselves, but we're not going to go overboard either. Okay, so I want everyone to see exactly what the expectations are for teachers. and that should help you understand what the expectations are for you as well. Okay, so we crafted some specific language about workload, schedule, and attendance. And I want to make sure that you see this um, and really read through it. Okay, so in terms of workload, all right, beginning this morning, beginning this week, learning activities should take between 3.5 to 6 hours per day for all of your classes. So this includes all time spent taking attendance, uploading documents, learning new technology, checking in with your teachers, going through uh, Zoom conferences, yada, yada, yada. All right. The policy of Bayside Academy and the upper school is that we will not design work that asks students to put in more than 2 hours of work for all classes across grade level after 9 to 2 each day. So we're really going to work hard to craft and tweak and curate your learning experience to where you can be done in the afternoon, enjoy your family, enjoy your dinner, and not be super stressed. Now, is it going to be perfect as we continue to make these adjustments? No, but it's not consciously being designed to make your life miserable either. And we certainly don't want to stress you out and create anxiety. So you can see that these are the phrases and this is the wording that's being used with your teachers. Your department chairs are going to help with providing support where necessary. So am I. Okay. This also means that students have to be accountable for when they show up and what they do and how they manage their time. And that is a difficult aspect of this learning environment. You've got to manage your time. All right. So, again, in terms of schedule and attendance and assessment, we are taking attendance. Teachers are noting your attendance Monday through Thursday. All right. And some teachers obviously are going to ask to meet with you on Fridays during independent work time, especially if you're having questions or maybe you're struggling or you've gotten behind. But obviously, that Friday is for you to finish up your work, to get the hours in, and to finish your week off properly. Okay. Every Monday, all right, at 9 o'clock at minimum, you're going to see Google Classroom updated. Please read through that carefully. Make sure that you read through when each assignment is due, and don't try and get it all done in one fell swoop. I know it sounds sort of patronizing, but it wouldn't help to get a piece of paper and map out your week. Time management is something that, especially for you older students, is going to become critical as you go to college. So I would take this time after Monday, seeing the update, to look at an agenda and really map out your work. All right. Um, all of the teachers are expected, okay, to take attendance Monday through Thursday through Zoom. All right. So that means that even though the classes are quote unquote 30 minutes on Monday and Thursday, and maybe they're just check ins and clarifications on activities and prepping and pitching the week's plans and other things like that, you're expected to show up and say hello. And you're expected to show up visually. All right. Don't turn your screen like this when you're checking into a class where people can only see the top of your head or they can't see you at all. All right. You need to be visual. That's part of the code of ethics. Okay. You need to be present in class. It's a sacred time. And that's how teachers know that you're there. Zoom conferences will be locked after class begins. So you need to be timely. Teachers will record specifically on Tuesday and Wednesday, but some of them will record all days. They're going to record the lessons in case you get kicked out of the Zoom, but obviously, we can't, share Zoom conference information, and we want to make sure that once class starts, that no uninvited guests can get in within your school community or maybe outside of it to determine or distract the environment. Sorry. All right. You're also going to see your teachers doing a much, I think, more conscious job of trying to tell you exactly how long each assignment should take in their eyes. All right. And so you can see here all assignments and assessments should be accompanied by an expected amount of time it takes to complete them. All right. So we're going to do a lot to try and, hear your voice and address your feedback and make things a little bit easier. It doesn't mean it's just going to go all the way back and life is going to be smooth sailing, but it means that we're listening to you and we understand the struggles that you had last week, and so we want to try and adjust those. But again, the expectations are on both sides. So, students, you've got to make sure that you're really doing your best to manage your time. You're really doing your best to make sure you're present for all of your classes to check in. And you have to be confident that everything we're doing, we're designing with the purpose of not having this take so long to complete. We understand that this is a huge change for you and that your world has been, turned upside down. And we're going through it together. Okay. Due dates are going to remain flexible. So some teachers are doing daily activities that connect with the Monday lesson plan, and that's helping you kind of stay organized. Some teachers are giving you your week's assignments and telling you when they're due, but making the due dates later in the evening. If something's due at 11:59 p.m., that doesn't mean wait until 11:59 to do it, because then you're going to be on your computer late at night, and then we're going to run into some concerns about when you're choosing to maximize your instructional time. So again, all of this is part of the process. We all knew that this was not going to be easy, but I am just blown away at how smooth it's gone. I'm blown away by your effort and how focused you've been on being the best students you can be. Certainly, there are some folks that really need to be mindful that we're still in school and we're checking in. And obviously, I'm having conversations with teachers to support them and make sure we all understand what expectations we're giving you from a time perspective. But it's still a wonderful time to be a part of the Bayside community, and it's super weird that it's not, a physical teaching environment. But I think we're all going to be better for this on the other side, and I appreciate your patience and your grace. Seniors, I want to talk to you for a second, and want to make sure you understand that um, I know how hard this is. I know how difficult this is for you all to have this stripped away from you. I really appreciate the communication I've had with you. Some of your parents have emailed as well. And I assure you that every single thing that we can protect, we're going to try and protect in terms of celebrating you and making sure that you have some sort of um, experience that honors what it should be. I know how hard it is to not be at school right now. I know how long you've been waiting to leave campus, and I know that this is not how you wanted it to be. We are not making any decisions on the major ceremonies, and I'm talking about graduation and baccalaureate and those things. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see how things develop with the health cases, with the cases in the nation and in the state, and we have to pay attention to the associations and the agencies that give us um, those guidelines. So. Um, I love y'all, and I just feel terrible that this is the way it's going down. But we're going to figure it out, and we're gonna create some ways to honor you and to make sure everybody understands that your good work deserves to be recognized, and you all deserve to have um, as close to a normal graduation experience as you can under these circumstances. So please know that you're in our hearts every day. All students, all of you are, but seniors, you especially, we're gutted. We're really downtrodden about this reality, and it's pretty emotional. So um, that's a lot of information this week. I hope that it doesn't have to be like this every week, but I thought that after our first full week of virtual school, that providing this type of information would be helpful and necessary. Thank you again for supporting us. We appreciate all that you're doing, and we remain open and willing to do whatever we can to create the best virtual learning experience that is possible for you. All right, so have an awesome week. Mr. Marine and I will be in our offices at least 3 days this week. Mr. Marine's spending, I think, 4 days in there this week, maybe 5. But I'll be in there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And, I look forward to hearing from you, even if it's by email. So have a great week. Take care.